You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
How would you like to challenge your little grey cells while reveling in the vintage perfection of David Suchet's Poirot?
If so, then the Labors of a Hercule podcast was made for you.
We're taking a deep dive into every episode of this masterpiece of television and giving you the clues you need to solve the case along with Poirot himself.
We present the case and you solve it.
Whether you're a detective in the making,
Or if you just simply want to gush over the genius and art decadence of Agatha Christie,
then subscribe now to the Labors of Hercule wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, and welcome to Fan Theory Queries, where we analyze fan theories from all over the internet, but mostly Reddit. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer.
And I'm coming to you this time.
Stay over there. Don't come over there.
I'm not moving anywhere.
Good.
Jeez. We're going to bring you... My goodness, is this the... No, this isn't the first. Duh. We've done plenty of other theories about book series.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. We talked about like Harry Potter. What other book series have we talked about?
That's it.
That's a very good
Okay,
question.
cool. Yeah.
I don't know. There's
Yeah.
no, we didn't actually record that one.
I'm bringing the second book series theory. This is about the Hunger Games. And
It's not exactly what the title might lead you to believe that it's about.
right. So,
'Cause-
oh yeah, this is probably going to bore you to tears, isn't it?
I don't know. I was just thinking the Hunger Games sounds like a food eating contest or something.
Oh, what is
Squid
that
Game.
competitive eater's name?
Chester. No.
The guy that...
Chestnut.
I know who
Johnny
Joey-
Chestnut.
Joey
Chestnut.
Chestnut.
Yep.
Yeah.
He plays in the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
He is the
all
star.
about Joey Chestnut.
Spoiler alert, he wins.
Every time. Anyway, let's get to this. Hunger Games takes place in a world where Britain won the Revolutionary War. Spoilers. Really? You think so? This is from The Martian Manhunter.
Oh, hey.
John Jones.
He sent it to us from the Watchtower and
Nice
everything.
to know he's branching out from like this superhero gig.
I know. He just talks about white Martians all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Now, is
He's
this
got hobbies.
Now, which Martian Manhunter is this? Is this Henry Lennox or
Oh, good question.
that guy from the Supergirl
The
series?
Arrowverse.
Or is it...
Who
I
knows?
personally, my personal opinion is that the Martian Manhunter from the Supergirl series is the best live action representation that we've gotten so far
Have there only been
of
two?
Martian Manhunter. I believe those are the only two.
Was there one in Smallville? I didn't watch Smallville.
Actually, yeah, there was. There was. Yeah,
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Also, it reminds me of the comics from the 80s where Booster Gold and Blue Beetle make Martian Manhunter mad because they ate all of his
Yep.
Oreos.
Oh,
Yep.
Lord.
That was a good one. But that's not what this theory is about. What
Yeah,
is
let's
it?
get back to Hunger Games.
What is it? All of a sudden, we're getting off topic now. What's going on?
I love it. Anyway, because y'all are about to get bored, I think, with this one.
That's
Here we go.
probably why.
I take you back to 1775. I want to do the doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo from Wayne's World here.
Yes.
The British Empire has employed its mighty empire into North America. Employed? I think they mean like deployed, possibly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no one's getting paid or has health insurance at this point. So.
And seeks to take it with their colonies. Oh, okay. Wait, no, they came way before 1775, but whatever. Okay. The colonists are fed up with the empire and decide to attack with brute force, sparking a revolutionary war. In the Hunger Games, the districts do this too. you liked my inflection on
I
that?
do. I
Thanks. I've been playing with different inflections on things. They're fed up with the capital and initiate war. It has been noted by Suzanne Collins. You have to make sure everybody understands there's a Z in her name. That Panem, the
Panem.
setting... Panem?
Panem. Panem.
I always say Panem.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure they say Pan Am on the movies.
Thank you. The setting of the Hunger Games trilogy occurs in North America, many years from present day. Also, as a quick note, there are 13 colonies and 13 districts pre-end of war.
That is an interesting little nugget there. Not spicy, just regular.
Oh, you didn't order spicy this
No,
time.
but I will have spicy ketchup.
Okay. Now imagine that Britain won. What would they do? Would they decimate all 13 of the colonies? No. They would kill the signers of the Declaration of Independence and then strike fear into the hearts of the remaining 12 colonies. How? By killing one off. The reason Britain wanted colonies in North America was because of an economic belief called mercantilism. This belief states that the more economic properties and thus more money to be made a country has, the more power it has. And we can see this shine through in the Hunger Games. The 12 districts slave away making money for the mother country. And to the capital goes the spoils. Mercantilism in action, folks. So if Britain had won the war, would they have wanted to kill off Massachusetts, which in relation to the placements of colonies would be District 4, for being the most problematic? Probably. But Massachusetts is making a lot of money for the mother country. So would killing it be useful? No. Instead, Britain would kill off the colony making the least amount of money, Georgia. Which, being the furthest south and thus farthest away from the, quote, capital, geographically matches up with District 13. And to keep instilling fear into these rebellious colonies enters the Hunger Games. Edit, one of the bigger things people are commenting is that the geography of this entire theory is off. I've noted that the capital is in the Rocky Mountains and will now provide the best explanation I can. What I propose is that Britain, having just gone through a large war with the rebellious colonists, would set up a small center of command to regulate the colonies. This would be in the Rockies and have a leader similar to the governors that Britain placed in Massachusetts and others before the Revolution. This would be Snow. Also, the books state that the colonies occur in a region that used to be called Appalachia. This is where the 12 colonies/districts are. The differences in geography between the colonies would be born out of the Revolutionary War, the dark days, the destruction of a colony, and time itself. I have to say, real quick, I'm pretty sure that this theory, I think Martian Manhunter is like, apparently somebody who grew up in Massachusetts, because all they learned was Massachusetts state history.
Yeah.
If that's all, they only know of Massachusetts having a governor, whereas like every state had a governor.
I sounds like someone that is not from the United States.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like it. At first, I was going to say it sounds like this is somebody posing as the Martian Manhunter because he's not this dumb. But then I thought about it, and Martian Manhunter is not from here, so this could be an incorrect history that he learned.
I would think Martian Manhunter wouldn't comment on history he doesn't have any knowledge of.
I don't know what you're talking about, dumb. I love this. This is fascinating to me. I would be curious, and we don't have to get into them just now, but I'm curious to see what other people say because, again, as with most things, it's been a while since I've read the books. We only saw the first movie.
No, we saw the second movie. We went to Studio Movie Grill.
But not the third one.
We did not see the third one. Did you read these books or watch these movies?
I did not read the books.
Michael.
I only watched all of the movies because I was forced to in a previous relationship. But I have to say that having watched the movies, I have zero interest in reading the books. I absolutely hate this story. I don't like anything about the Hunger Games. I think it's so dumb.
What? Why? Why do you hate it?
He hates the ending.
I hate the fact that PETA exists.
Yes.
Okay.
PETA should have died
Josh
in the first movie.
AKA Denny.
Yeah, so Denny...
Just the character.
AKA, he's better... I think he's better written than that he comes across on screen because I remember liking PETA in the books, but not liking PETA in the movies.
Sorry, Josh Hutcherson.
I mean, no offense, dude. I didn't write the script. What I was going to say, back up just a bit, we need to start keeping tallies and track and of all the times we disappoint each other for the things that we haven't seen or done. Yeah. Number one, Laura never watched Family Matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I won't. I don't remember anything about a mother country. I thought this was all that was left.
No, they're not saying there's a mother country in the book. They're saying that...
That's what they are saying in the theory, though.
They're saying that Britain's a mother country. Like Mother Russia.
Okay, so that Britain is still around? Because I thought by Hunger Games that Panem was it. That was all that was left in this post-apocalyptic world.
But where does it say mother country?
It says it like 2 times in the theory.
But Massachusetts is making a lot of money for the mother country, so would killing it be useful? No.
Back then. Right after the Revolutionary War.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's also hard for me with the mother country. Like, again, that is a very Soviet
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
So to be
That's not a real
describing it
word.
that way, idea, would that be better? Should we just dive into the comments now?
I think so. Unless you have something
Spencer
to add,
doesn't.
Spencer.
No, I wanna draw this out, but I can't. Other than saying, remember that guy in the movie that was played by
Stanley Tucci?
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Oh, that was in the second movie.
No, he was in the first movie.
I don't think so.
He died after the first movie, so they had to CGI him in it for the rest of what he didn't film.
Oh,
And
that
it
was
wasn't
like
in
the
the
first
second-
time
yeah.
we'd ever seen that used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Okay.
Yes, but we can go on to comments if you'd
All
like.
right. So let's go to Nighthawk 00. I've entertained this idea before myself. What do you know? People
Does he like invite it to dinner
think on
and
this.
play some music while it eats?
Stop. God. When I read the first book for a school project, however, I thought it was actually more of a metaphorical relation to what would have happened if the colonies had lost the Revolutionary War, mostly because some of the districts can have their geographic location deduced from certain aspects of the district. For example, District 12 produces coal as their main product. This could correspond to West Virginia, as it is a larger producer of coal. District 11, being mainly agricultural, would be located around the south, most likely around Georgia. Also, District 11 is mainly populated by black people, which throws in the possibility that District 11 is imagery for slavery. The capital itself is located in the Rocky Mountains, probably somewhere around current-day Denver. Besides the possible geographic locations of the districts in the capital, the parallels between the culture of the capital and Great Britain are also a supporting argument for the colonies metaphor. The capital is very much a foreign place compared to the districts, as Great Britain was foreign to the colonies. Finally, if I recall correctly, District 13 was the leader of the original rebellion. If we assume the colony metaphor, then wouldn't District 13 be more likely to be located around Massachusetts?
I don't know.
Seems like, I mean, if you're going with 13 being the farthest away from the capital, Massachusetts really far away from Denver.
Yeah.
Cabo Thief says Katniss states that District 12 is in what used to be called Appalachia, or I think some people call it Appalachia, but
I've always said Appalachia because you hear people say the Appalachian Mountains, so
yeah.
Appalachia
But
makes
it's
sense.
also there's also the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Cabo Thieves thinks that Nighthawk 0000 is right about the location. Then we have
Well, hold on. What were they saying was District 13?
this person is saying Massachusetts.
What would the original person say?
OP thought that District 13 would have been Georgia.
You know what the 13th colony was?
Let me think.
It was Georgia.
Oh, when you go in order of their
It was the
formation.
13th.
Yeah.
That's why they said Massachusetts was District 4, I believe.
Okay.
in the
Massachusetts
actual
was number
theory.
2.
in OP's theory. Oh.
Oh, well, maybe they're just wrong.
Well, then Psychic Tandem Warcat. Now that sounds like the coolest comic book character.
Yep. I would read that comic.
Responds, well, District 12 would have been west of the Shenandoah Valley, which the British forbade the colonists from going past. That's where most of the coal in this country comes from. West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and parts of Ohio. These states, with the exception of Virginia, hadn't been claimed by England, and Virginia's main export was tobacco, which is grown on the opposite side of the state from the coal industry. Also, it was stated that District 13 was a uranium mining district, which wouldn't have been possible in 1775. And in Mockingjay, they talk about the government that existed before Panem, which was the United States. It's a great analogy, but not a very good theory.
I don't like that comment.
The thing is, we're not saying that what they are now current is what they
Yeah,
were
Exactly.
in
This
the
is-
pre-Revolutionary era.
That's a dumb comment.
Well, I mean,
because-
1775, the Revolutionary War was already going on.
But
Yeah.
why would it be impossible for them to expand the borders of these colonies?
That's what
after they-
happened.
Right.
Again.
Right.
Yeah, the state lines weren't drawn.
Yeah.
Right. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And then also,
Sorry, Psychic Tandem Warcat. Your name rocks, but your posits here are
it is still very possible because, I mean, this is supposed to take place even more in the future now. Nobody mines uranium, or do they? I don't know. Maybe they find deposits of uranium and then start mining it there. I mean, that's not a dumb. Anyway.
Crops, I mean, change
Yeah.
in places. Like, one of the main exports in Texas now is cotton, and that didn't used to be. Like, Texas, I saw something about, is responsible for like 4% of the nation's cotton consumption, but our drought has just knocked that out.
Well, clearly, in an alternate timeline, if
Texas doesn't exist, and
Texas doesn't exist, but
P&M.
if it did, and they drilled oil, then this wouldn't have been possible because they didn't get oil in the Revolutionary War.
That's so true.
So busted.
Yeah. All right. So then another commenter here, deleted. It says, I always thought that 13 was Washington, D.C. and the surrounding area, as it would have lots of underground tunnels and access to serious military hardware like nukes via the Pentagon, Andrews Air Force Base, and the several other military installations around the area. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks, deleted.
That's why they got deleted.
Yeah.
I love that you think they got
know.
deleted. They deleted their
I know.
own account.
No. In this, and
Stupid. So why would you delete your account? Just don't go on there anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
just lose your password.
that's usually
like
the
I did with
instance, but I
LinkedIn.
feel like in this case they got deleted.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe I mean, I would, if you're right. If I were moderator, I would delete them.
Yes.
But they kept the comment up. That's
Yes.
the thing. Like, this is a warning.
We have to have
Yeah.
like
proof.
District 13.
Yes.
This is a warning. Okay. Not sure. 2505 said, I find this very implausible. Are they trying to horn in on our rating scale here? There's very little evidence to support it. First, if the books are set 300 plus years beyond 1776, it seems highly unlikely the events of that long ago would be so vividly remembered. Humankind has a practical memory of only about a generation.
False.
Second, since Panem represents the United States, if Britain had won, they would not establish a ruling capital in North America. Power and orders would come from Great Britain, as it always did during their imperial period. Even if there were a provincial seat of power, it would never be ruled by a President Snow.
Yep.
Yes.
I have so
Exactly.
many things to go against that comment, but I wonder if the OP did it for me.
Okay, let's read. So OP comes back. Britain would not waste its time setting up a ruling capital in North America. They would make a small realm of leadership and then assign someone, President Snow, to rule the North American colonies. President Snow isn't a king, but is likened to the governor of the Northern American colonies, like the governors that Britain was used to putting in Massachusetts and the other colonies pre-Revolutionary War. This is reading their typo. So are they trying to liken... Maybe they're trying to say Panem was a commonwealth of Great Britain.
I don't know what those words mean, but
Yeah.
Commonwealths usually, I mean, yes, they pay homage to Great Britain, and well, perfect timing to say rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes.
But they still have their own government within themselves. They're not like, they don't answer to the Prime Minister of Great Britain. They have their own Prime Minister. Right?
Well,
Isn't, I mean,
I think
I'm-
that's
is that
right.
Canada? Is that what Canada is?
I think that's what Canada does, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have Canadian listeners, don't we? So
I don't know. We thought we did, but they never left
never
us any more
comment.
reviews or ratings.
Please
We're still
help
at
us.
9
If you-
and 1 nonsensical review from Canada.
if you are from Canada and you're listening to this, please tell us all about your government, please.
That was good. You sounded just like a Canadian. So let me
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Well, first of all, why don't you finish off that thread there?
Okay. Oh, how am I going to read this? Chronic Burritos says, no, he's much more dictator-like. Just because you're saying words doesn't make them true.
Yay, that's my favorite sentence.
Yep, I love that.
Okay, so let me go back.
That's great.
I'm going to use that
Just
so
because you're
much
saying
from
words.
now on. Thank you,
That-
Chronic Burritos.
That would be great to use for our children
Oh, yes, because you're saying words.
when we
Doesn't
catch
make
them in a
them
lie.
true. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
So this not sure comment is like, It seems highly unlikely that events long ago will be so vividly remembered. Humankind has a practical memory of only about a generation. That's a preposterous comment because, like, it all depends on how everything is
recorded.
Well, recorded, but also retold. Like, if the leadership of Great Britain comes in and is like, "Look at all these terrible people, and you're going to be terrible."
Look at all these terrible people.
No, that's not what they sounded like back then. I watched The Patriot. So they're like, this is a terrible thing that happened, and we're going to remind you of it every 10 years. And then they start the Hunger Games, and every time there's a Hunger Games, it just further beats this history into the heads of these people. Like, it's very easy to do. We just think of the people that they make something that's important to them that's old, like people who are patriotic. It's vivid, even though it was 300 years old. The Revolutionary War is vivid to them because it gets them excited and it gives them purpose and meaning.
Well, we even
in
have
life.
people reenact that stuff,
Yes.
man.
So that's preposterous. And then this other thing about if Britain had won, they would not establish a ruling capital in North America. How do you know? You don't know what they do?
Yes, we do.
No.
They've won, and do you not know about Imperial Britain?
Yes, I do. But look at
Okay.
India.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Britain in India now?
Not anymore.
Okay.
But what did they do?
I don't know exactly. All that matters is maybe they did do what they did, and then eventually.
Say for France, okay? France was an imperialist nation.
My point I'm making is this person has no, like, you can't say that this is what they would or would not do because this is a different situation.
No, I think historically speaking, yes, you can. They would maybe set someone up, like they said, as like here, you listen to him, but they also said, hey, dude, you listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what's saying that that's not what's happening?
I think what they're pointing to is that in the books, and I'm guessing in the movie, President Snow is not taking direction from anyone but himself. Me, myself, and I. Himself. He is
That's the
the
way
one.
I understand it.
Yes.
There are two ways to look at that. One is, how do we know? It's just not mentioned. And the other way to look at it is, okay, again, with this being 300 plus years later, maybe this is just how the way things are now. Just because they set up something some way right after the Revolutionary War doesn't mean it's going to stay like that for 300 years.
I'll let you say what you want to say, but I don't agree with you.
How? How is it different than what's happening?
I've already said
India?
my piece. They're okay.
Britain's
Sounds
still
like-
not ruling India.
It sounds like we're about ready to rate this theory.
I volunteer as tribute.
To do what?
To be the one that expresses how annoying it is every time someone says, "May the odds be ever in your favor." It's so stupid. It was clever like one time, but there are still people who say it. It gets under my skin.
Wow, I had no idea you felt that way.
Well, that's what this show is about, folks. Releasing our pent-up frustrations and sharing our feelings so we don't explode at the little old lady at the supermarket because she's holding up the line because she insists on paying with cash and exact change, but she keeps her money all in an unorganized mess in her little Betty Boop coin purse. Oh, don't even get me started on Betty Boop.
Oh, trust me, we won't.
How would you like to challenge your little grey cells while revelling in the vintage perfection of David Suchet's Poirot?
If so, then the Labors of a Hercule podcast was made for you.
We're taking a deep dive into every episode of this masterpiece of television and giving you the clues you need to solve the case along with Poirot himself.
We present the case and you solve it.
Whether you're a detective in the making,
Or if you just simply want to gush over the genius and art decadence of Agatha Christie,
then subscribe now to the Labours of Hercule wherever you get your podcasts.
I feel like that rant was oddly specific.
Actually, that sort of thing happens all the time. In fact, just the other day.
Hey, Michael, could you go over our rating scale real quick?
Oh, sure. Yeah. The highest rating that we have is genius. This is reserved for only the best theories, which we believe are better than the actual canon. The next step down is plausible. It's a good theory, it's believable. Unlikely is next. It's not a terrible theory, but pretty unlikely, as the name suggests. And then the last thing is preposterous. These are the theories that are just stupid. Basically, we're all dumber for having listened to them.
All right. Who's ready to rate this
Me.
theory?
I would like to go first. I'm all ready and set to give this a genius rating. I love this. I think that this is completely... I think this is very genius on this person's part. They took criticism from the comments and ran with it. I love how they adapted to that of, oops, it's supposed to be in the Rockies. Well, it still can be. Just the rest of the districts happen to be over here. Or, again, like we were saying, it is in the Rockies and what we call Colorado, but maybe the boundaries of the districts grew to where it's not so far off from Colorado anymore. I don't know, but they get on a really long train to get to the capital.
No, that's Snowpiercer.
That's both. Maybe they're just in the same.
Another
universe.
terrible
Here we
movie.
go. Let's connect them.
I love the comparison between like Britain's, their customs or their traditions or how different they are from the rest of Pan Am. I just think that's obviously it's hyperbole, but a lot of times we old Americans down here in Texas think of Britain's people as eccentric with their funny hats and like, accents and
Speak for yourself.
Right.
I'm an Anglophile.
Well, see, I'm
and
I'm playing a character, not myself, which is why I'm using an accent. That I'm portraying the people that we live around. I think that the points. I don't disagree with anything this person has said. I don't find fault with anything that they say, and I've already debated some of these comments, and I feel like this is genius, and I love it, and I will from now on and forever believe that The Hunger Games takes place in a world where America lost the Revolutionary War.
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and go next. I really want to like this because
Will do.
like I said, I'm a bit of an Anglophile and I love Great Britain and I love the history, especially during that time period. But
Maybe I can help you. If you want to like it, I can help you like it.
nah, it's fine. But this is preposterous.
No.
I feel so much dumber having listened
That
to
makes
this.
no sense.
Yeah, that's because the theory doesn't make sense.
It makes every bit sense.
It's preposterous.
All right, and for my rating, I'll go with unlikely on this. I agree with our first commenter, Nighthawk 00, that it was meant as a metaphor.
What?
A metaphorical relation to what would have happened if the colonies had lost the Revolutionary War.
So,
Please let me. Okay. I just don't think it's meant to be that Britain won. And like I've said before, the way I read these books, this post-apocalyptic world, everything that's described as far as the districts and the capital and the revolt that District 13 tried to lead, I view that all as separate from the apocalyptic thing that happened, that wiped out the United States. I've always viewed it as that left. This is the only dry land left. This is the only inhabitable land left. There are no other places in the world left. And bam.
Cool.
it's time to bring this episode to a close, but before we do, I'd like to share a fascinating detail I found on Reddit the other day. It's never too early to get into the Christmas spirit, as evidenced by this fascinating detail shared by Mal5Matt. In The Muppet Christmas Carol from '92, the character Oscar the Grouch was not included in the film. This is because the world was not ready for more bin time.
More bin time.
And it still isn't.
Nope. No
No.
one is.
No.
More bin time. Golly.
More bin time. Which, in an alternate universe, what would Scrooge do knowing that there were 13 districts across the ocean, would he be an angrier miser, or would he even exist anymore?
Who knows? We'll leave you to ponder that.
I will.
Because this has been Fan Theory Queries, and I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. Subscribe to Fan Theory Queries so you don't miss out on our discussions on other fascinating fan theories.
Fan Theory Queries is part of the Airwave Media Podcast Network. Visit airwavemedia.com to listen and subscribe to their other fine shows like The Secret History of Hollywood, Who Did What Now? And Into the Impossible.
How would you like to challenge your little grey cells while reveling in the vintage perfection of David Suchet's Poirot?
If so, then the Labors of Hercule podcast was made for you.
We're taking a deep dive into every episode of this masterpiece of television and giving you the clues you need to solve the case along with Poirot himself.
We present the case and you solve it.
Whether you're a detective in the making,
Or if you just simply want to gush over the genius and art decadence of Agatha Christie,
then subscribe now to the Labours of Hercule wherever you get your podcasts.